Welcome. Today, we journey not through wild landscapes but into the heart of France. Its palaces. These are more than buildings. They are living monuments echoing with the ambitions and dramas of centuries. Each gilded ceiling and stone corridor tells stories of kings, queens, revolution, and Renaissance. To walk these halls is to step through time, feeling the weight of history and the pulse of human creativity. Imagine sunlight splintering through crystal chandeliers, the scent of ancient wood, and the soft murmur of the past. Let's wander together, uncovering the extraordinary stories hidden within these grand halls. Our journey into French majesty begins now. Our first stop, Versailles, the ultimate symbol of royal opulence. This magnificent palace, with its sprawling gardens and intricate architecture, stands as a testament to the grandeur and ambition of the French monarchy. Once a humble hunting lodge, it was transformed by Louis XIV into his golden universe, a palace designed not just to centralize power, but to awe the world with its splendor. The Sun King envisioned a residence that would reflect his divine right to rule. Every detail, from the grandiose architecture to the meticulously manicured gardens, was crafted to project divine authority. The palace's opulent design was meant to impress and intimidate, showcasing the king's absolute power. The palace aligns perfectly with the sun, casting the king as the center of his own solar system. This alignment was no accident. It was a deliberate design to symbolize the king's central role in the universe. Versailles was more than just a residence. It was a stage where courtiers played their parts in a daily performance of etiquette and spectacle. The elaborate rituals and ceremonies were designed to reinforce the king's supremacy. The gardens, designed by the legendary André Le Nôtre, are masterpieces of order and symmetry. Fountains, statues, and canals stretch to the horizon, creating a landscape that is both natural and meticulously controlled. Beneath the surface beauty, a hidden world of engineering kept the illusion alive. Complex systems of pipes and machinery ensured that the fountains and water features operated flawlessly, adding to the palace's enchantment. At the heart of Versailles lies the Hall of Mirrors, 17 arches, 357 mirrors, and endless reflections. This iconic corridor is not just a marvel of design, but also a place where history was made, including the signing of the Treaty of Versailles. The palace dazzles with art. Painted ceilings, intricate tapestries, and rooms dedicated to classical gods. Each room tells a story, blending mythology with the king's own narrative of power and divinity. Beyond the grand apartments, the Petit Trianon and Marie Antoinette's rustic hamlet reveal a longing for privacy and simplicity. These retreats offered a stark contrast to the formality and grandeur of the main palace. Yet, these fantasies of simplicity were far removed from the harsh realities outside the palace gates. The opulence of Versailles stood in stark contrast to the struggles of the common people, highlighting the vast divide between the monarchy and its subjects. Versailles is both a pinnacle of artistic achievement and a symbol of excess, a universe of golden light, and a reminder of the power and peril of unchecked ambition. Its grandeur continues to captivate and inspire, even as it serves as a cautionary tale. To visit Versailles is to be overwhelmed by its beauty and scale, to contemplate the enduring nature of human dreams, and to reflect on the complex interplay of power, art, and history that it represents. Now, let us journey to the heart of the Loire Valley, where the magnificent Château de Chambord rises from the mist, a Renaissance fantasy sprung from the boundless imagination of King Francis I. Here, amid rolling meadows and ancient woodlands, the king's vision took shape, blending art, architecture, and nature into a single breathtaking masterpiece. Chambord is not a fortress braced for battle, nor a seat of government bustling with politics. Instead, it was conceived as a hunting lodge, a retreat for leisure and spectacle, and above all, a monument to artistic ambition. It was a place where the king could escape the pressures of court life and immerse himself in the pleasures of the hunt, surrounded by beauty and innovation. Look up and you'll see its roofline, a fantastical forest of turrets, chimneys, and lanterns, each one unique, creating a whimsical skyline that dances above the French countryside. The silhouette is unlike any other chateau, a playful display of Renaissance creativity and technical prowess. The chateau sits at the heart of Europe's largest enclosed forest park, a vast expanse where deer and wild boar still roam. Here, the line between palace and wilderness blurs, as manicured gardens give way to untamed woods, and the grandeur of architecture meets the serenity of nature. The identity of Chambord's architect remains a mystery, but the hand of Leonardo da Vinci is felt everywhere, in the chateau's perfect symmetry, its ingenious design, and its spirit of innovation. The building is a puzzle box of Renaissance ideas, where every detail hints at the genius of its creators. At the very core of Chambord lies its most famous marvel, the double helix staircase. Two spirals, entwined yet separate, allow people to ascend and descend side by side without ever crossing paths. It's a feat of engineering and imagination, a symbol of the Renaissance fascination with science and art. The staircase draws you ever upward, inviting visitors to climb higher and higher until they emerge onto the rooftop terraces. From here, sweeping panoramic views stretch across the estate, offering a glimpse of the world as the king himself once saw it. Yet for all its splendor, Chambord was never a permanent home. It came alive only when the royal court arrived in a flurry of activity. Then, just as quickly it would fall silent, its grand halls echoing with memories of vanished festivities. Its vast rooms and labyrinthine corridors were designed to impress and astonish, not to provide comfort or intimacy. The chateau was a stage for royal dreams, a place where spectacle reigned over practicality. Everywhere you look, the salamander, the personal emblem of Francis V, is carved into stone and wood. This mythical creature, believed to survive fire, was a symbol of the king's enduring power, resilience, and visionary spirit. Today, Chambord stands as a dream in stone, a testament to the heights of human creativity and the ambitions of a king who dared to build his fantasy. It invites us to marvel, to wonder, and to imagine the world not just as it is, but as it could be. Next, we arrive at Château de Fontainebleau, a palace shaped by centuries of kings, not just one. Fontainebleau is a tapestry of styles, medieval towers, Renaissance galleries, and imperial apartments woven together. Each room is a chapter in French history, from the Carpathians to Napoleon. Francis thus transformed it with Italian artists, creating the first school of Fontainebleau, elaborate stucco, frescoes, and mythological themes. The Gallery of Francis this is a journey into allegory and royal power. Napoleon later restored the palace, calling it the true home of kings. Here, he signed his abdication and bid farewell to his old guard. Fontainebleau's diversity is astounding: grand ballrooms, intimate boudoirs, and the chapel where popes were held. The surrounding forest inspired artists like Corot and Rousseau, becoming a cradle of landscape painting. Unlike Versailles' formal gardens, Fontainebleau's grounds are varied and naturalistic, a place for discovery and retreat. Fontainebleau is a palace of layers, inviting you to slow down and appreciate the subtle shifts in style and history. It's a living story, 8 centuries in the making. We journey south to Avignon, a city where history and legend intertwine along the banks of the Rhône. Here, the Palais des Papes rises majestically above the river, a monumental fortress that once embodied the very heart of faith and power in medieval Europe. For 70 extraordinary years in the 14th century, Avignon, not Rome, was the epicenter of Christendom. The city became the seat of the papacy, drawing pilgrims, scholars, and diplomats from across the continent and transforming Avignon into a vibrant crossroads of religion and politics. The palace itself, constructed in less than 2 decades, is a marvel of medieval engineering. 2 distinct buildings joined together, the austere fortress-like old palace and the more elaborate decorative new palace, each reflecting the ambitions and anxieties of the popes who commissioned them. Its massive walls and soaring towers tell stories of both conflict and sanctuary. Designed to withstand siege, they also offered refuge to the papal court, standing as a bulwark against the political storms of the era. Step inside, and you enter a world of vast Gothic halls and echoing chapels. These spaces once hosted grand audiences, solemn tribunals, and elaborate ceremonies, moments that shaped the destiny of Europe and echoed far beyond Avignon's walls. Despite centuries of neglect and upheaval, the papal apartments still preserve precious frescoes, vivid glimpses into the private world of medieval popes, their daily rituals, and the artistry that flourished under their patronage. The palace was more than a residence. It was a center of diplomacy, learning, and immense wealth. Yet, within its walls, intrigue and corruption often simmered, as rival factions vied for influence and power. The Grand Chapel, with its soaring vaults and luminous windows, hosted the most solemn rituals, ceremonies that reinforced the spiritual authority of the papacy and left a lasting imprint on the city's soul. From the palace terraces, the sweeping view reveals Avignon's strategic importance, commanding the river, the city, and the vital routes that connected France to the wider world. To explore the Palais des Papes is to feel the weight of history and the gravity of power, both spiritual and worldly, projected through every stone, arch, and shadowed corridor. Today, the palace stands as a stark reminder of an age when faith could raise fortresses, shape nations, and leave a legacy that endures in stone and story. Our final stop, Château de Chenonceau, the Ladies' Castle, arching gracefully over the river Cher. Chenonceau's story is shaped by remarkable women, Catherine Briconnet, Diane de Poitiers, and Catherine de Medici. Diane, the king's mistress, created the iconic bridge and formal gardens, a vision of Renaissance harmony. After the king's death, Catherine reclaimed the chateau, adding her own garden and the grand gallery atop Diane's bridge. The gallery became a stage for lavish balls, its windows opening to moonlit gardens and the river below. Later, Louise de Lorraine turned it into a place of mourning. Madame Dupin filled it with Enlightenment thinkers. During 2 world wars, Chenonceau served as a hospital and a secret escape route. Its interiors feel like a home. Tapestries, antique furniture, and kitchens nestled in the bridge's piers. Chenonceau is a poem in stone and water, a testament to beauty, love, and resilience. It invites you to dream, to wander its galleries, and to feel the presence of the extraordinary women who shaped its destiny. Our journey through France's palaces ends here. From Versailles' golden halls to Chenonceau's arches, we've walked through history, art, and ambition. These palaces are more than destinations. They're invitations to connect with a past that still inspires. Thank you for joining this exploration. If you felt wonder today, consider subscribing to support more journeys like this. Let these stories remind you the world is filled with beauty, waiting to be discovered. Keep exploring, keep dreaming. The next adventure is just around the corner.